Welcome to World of Marketing Podcast, a Foster Web Marketing production. Here's your host, Tom Foster.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Marketing, where I talk with industry leaders about marketing mindset and business growth. And I have a doozy of a guest today that I have admired for years and I'm super excited about. But first, this episode is brought to you by Foster Web Marketing. Foster Web Marketing provides cutting-edge, highly customizable websites, marketing, video, and strategic solutions specifically designed for law firms. DSS, our award-winning software suite that powers our website, sets us apart. Please visit our website at fosterwebmarketing.com if you want to know more. But today, our guest is the one and only Ken Hardison, founder and CEO. You the CEO too?
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever I need to get done, that's what I do.
That's right. Of PILMMA, Personal Injury Lawyers Marketing and Management Association, for those rare people that don't know what that is. He is the brainchild of the organization and also an attorney who built not one but two multi-million-dollar law firms before selling them at the young age of 52. He could have sailed off into the sunset, but no. Instead, Ken created PILMMA to share his experiences and trade secrets to help other attorneys build a profitable and successful law practice. It has since grown into a multi-million-dollar organization with members from all across the United States, Canada, and Australia. PILMMA started as a part-time venture arising out of Ken's passion to help other lawyers get out of the 9-to-5 rat race and significantly increase their free time. Rooted in a deep-felt commitment to help lawyers avoid the mistakes and pitfalls Ken encountered while building his own firms, the goal remains the same: to help as many lawyers as possible create the practice of their dreams, more profits, more and better cases, and ownership of a well-run law firm, give you the freedom to live the life you want and experience more tremendous success on your own terms. PILMMA provides its members with a multitude of practical and proven tools, tactics, strategies, coaching, and mentoring, all designed to help lawyers scale their law firms for more tremendous growth and success. Welcome, Ken Hardison.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, Tom.
It is a pleasure to have you, sir. It's been a long time, and I've been wanting to get you on the show for a while. You are a leader, and you have helped so many lawyers, many of them my clients, over the years. And that's really what I want to talk to you about today and congratulate you on your success, because you've done such an incredible job in a very tough area, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, it's been crazy. But yeah, it really wasn't me. It was, I got a great team and some very loyal lawyers that have been with me for years.
And so let's talk about that. When and how did you start PILMMA?
I had started a little mastermind with about 6 or 7 lawyers back in 2005. It was called Lawyers Inner Circle. It was just something I was doing because I had been in masterminds with Dan Kennedy and some of the other gurus, and Jay Abraham, another marketing guru. And I just really liked the concept of learning from others. If you can combine a room with people that are wanting the same things, wanting to grow their practices and share what's working and not working and not make the same mistakes and get there quicker, I thought, that's just a way to do it. But when I sold the law firm, I moved down to Myrtle Beach from Raleigh, and I was going to retire. And I played golf and fished and did a little bit of traveling for about 6 months. And I got really bored. I just got bored. And I had lawyers calling me and emailing me, I need help with this. How'd you do this? How'd you. And I just got to thinking, I said, I think I was talking about it. And my wife said, you need to charge for this, Ken. She says, because you definitely, you had to learn it the hard way most of the time by trial and error. And I said, you're right. And although we're not nearly as expensive as a lot of them now, but so we just started, and I started doing that. It was kind of a hobby. And then like 2013, 14, we hit like $1 million, and I wasn't even trying. I said, this could turn into a real business. I said,
right, yeah.
I could scale this, and I got into it. I said, so I got more serious about it, really. And then, we tripled it again and now, it's like 4 times as big as it was then. So, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, I've got some really good people. We don't do any done for you work because I don't want to get into that deal. If I wanted to do that, it's more of a lifestyle business. I don't, I don't deal with people I don't want to deal with. I just, I do some coaching, some consulting, but probably leave it 5 to 6 law firms a year. Big deal I do is masterminds. And now I've got like 5 or 6 mastermind groups, and I love doing those because we get together 3 times a year, spend 2 days. We go to beautiful places and share what's working. I got them divided up by groups under 2 million, 2 to 10 million, and over 10 million.
Wow.
Revenues, because they got different problems.
Sure.
Under 2 million, everybody's still trying to figure out how can I get more cases? How can I get more cases? 2 to 10, they're still thinking that way, but not as much because they've kind of cracked the code a little bit. But now they be careful what you wish for, right? Because now you got all this infrastructure deal. You got all this stuff. You just got a mess if you. They say every time you double, every time you double business, you have to reorganize it because you can't, to get to the next level, you got to change things.
Yeah, you got to get more attorneys and more staff.
Yeah,
you got to get it thinking about when you're doing a solo.
Yeah, you got to scale it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing now. We got a beautiful place. Like next year, we're going to Key West, Asheville, North Carolina, up at the Billboard area, and then we're going to Lake Tahoe, and
Wow.
and 2 of my groups are going to Cabo,
St. Lucas.
Yeah. We just
That's
got back.
nice.
We just got back from Vegas, and we've been to Aspen, we've been to Jackson Hole. We go to really cool places, and so they get to write off a vacation because they'll go spend 2 days and then they'll bring their wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend or family, and they'll spend 3 or 4 or 5 days later, and just kind of explore, and it gets them away from the office because I don't know about you, but I ever try to do a meeting in my office with a bunch of. I've tried to do some local masterminds. Too many interruptions. You really need to get away from the day-to-day. Shut down the phone and just really focus. So,
and it gets everybody kind of on a level playing ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how many do you have? And you said you had 5 masterminds. Congratulations for that, by the way.
Thank you.
This means that people come to you and are looking for your help, man. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great honor. How many do you have in each of your masterminds?
We got about 16 to 17.
Wow.
I try to cut it off at about 18.
And you've got them broken up into the different.
Yeah, we're starting a new group. I got some lawyers that they just they want to join, but they didn't like all the traveling, which I love it, but they don't like it. And so I'm starting a virtual one in January.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how that goes. But we also do that, and then I bring in speakers to do trainings like a lot of stuff on management, like pipeline analysis, cash flow analysis, how to do that, how you can take and increase, how to increase your average fee, because it's a lot easier if you could go from 10,000 to 15,000 average fee. That's a lot easier than trying to figure out how to get 50% more cases,
right?
And a lot cheaper too. And yeah, so that's a big deal. We've been working on really hard the last 2 or 3 years of trying to get everybody. And we've got some law firms that have gone from like $10,000 to $20,000 in average fees. It takes work. It ain't gonna happen overnight. You have to, it takes about a year to 18 months, but when you do it, man, it's like magical. It's really opened my eyes. I wish I'd known that when I was growing my practice. I mean, because I was just all about let's get more cases. That's the only thing. I'll be honest, I wasn't smart enough to figure that out. But that's part of the evolution of learning. I pride myself on being a continual learner. I still don't know it all, and I learn things from my masterminds. I mean,
of course. I mean, like that's I'm in several masterminds, and like you, I'm a student of Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham, and the greats, and I started masterminding with Ben Glass 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And he's a smart guy.
yeah.
Somebody you need to know.
Yep.
Yep. No, I like Ben.
Yes. I owe everything to Ben, for getting me started and early on when I was a young man. And we came out and did great legal marketing and, did a lot of what you did. And we're watching you, grow.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, man. And it's funny, Ken, I was just looking at the show coming up in May, right? And I could not believe the cost, the prices. I was very impressed. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
To sponsor different things. I'm like, you have come a long way, my friend.
Oh, I have. Listen, when I did my first conference, I lost money the first 3 years. I mean, but I wouldn't get vendors because I didn't think I had enough people there to justify charging for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And I like to do things the right way. And when we finally got 100 lawyers coming, I said, okay. So then we started the boost, and now the boost pretty much, pay for the event, and then what people pay. All my masterminds come free and can bring one person. So, that's possibly 160 people coming for free. So I mean, but when they're not coming for free because they pay in my monthly
they're paying you. And that's part
they're
of
paying me, but I don't charge them extra to come. I give them that as a bonus. And so yeah, we had about 450 last year.
Wow.
We actually moved to a new hotel because we ran out of room, and we ran out of booths. We could have sold. We sold out of booths 2 months before, and we didn't sell out completely. Everybody would. I mean, most guys will say they do, but we could have seated another 30 or 40. We could have.
Yeah.
But I knew that if we grew 10%, we wouldn't be able to this year. And believing everybody getting into this business now, it's actually sort of like John Morgan going to all these cities. I think it just raises the awareness, and we're actually growing because I think more people are finding out about masterminds and what, coaching and scaling up and EOS and all this stuff, the EOS, because I mean, I'm a certified scaling up coach and a certified John Maxwell leadership coach. But I just did that not to make money. I did that just to make me better so I could do a better job with PILMMA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My wife said, why the hell are you going to school? She said, you're teaching other people. I said, you never know it all. I said, if you could pick up 2 or 3 nuggets here, 2 or 3 nuggets there, it might make the difference in somebody's life, I know that sounds corny. I know it sounds corny, but I really feel that way. And I tell lawyers, I said, I'm the only guy out there that does masterminds that if you come to the first meeting, you don't like it, I'll give you money back. A lot of them do the conferences that way, but nobody does their programs that way. I do my gold. I have another membership, lower membership, a lot cheaper, still robust, but I give those 90 days. I say, you can try it for 90 days. If you don't like it, I'll give you a full refund. I used to let people come in the Dan Kennedy way for 1997. But I had too many tire kickers. They come in there, they swipe everything I had, and then leave. And I got tired. I said, I want somebody that's serious about it. And our leads did go down, but our membership went up because the people that were in it were serious, and we did some extra things to try to do some retention. I did a phone call with them and kind of, and I did about 30 videos I put into a vault. Everything in the world about marketing and management, and kind of had a system like you go here, do this, do that. Or, if you didn't know where to start, if you know what you needed, you could just go pick it out like a buffet. But if you didn't, I had it kind of structured. So this is step 1, step 2, step 3, because I have people come at different levels.
Sure.
I mean, some people don't know a thing. Some people really good at marketing, but really terrible at management and infrastructure and systems and processes. Some people come in and they really know their management, but they don't know how to get cases. Everybody's got weaknesses. Everybody got strengths. So, yeah.
That's true, man. Well, and I know that there's these pop up all the time, these lawyer conferences and whatnot, but, you've been doing this for a long time. and
Yeah.
have great success, but not only your own success that you're willing to share, and that you're learning more so you can help people out more. But it's also the people in the masterminds themselves.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean,
It is for sure. They've got different strengths and weaknesses. And that's why I love a mastermind, because we'll have some people, like one firm might be really, really sweet on processes, procedures, and their whole management system, their culture. And then another firm might be a little weak in that, but they really know how to, they busted it wide open, get cases signed up. And, and so then,
yeah, they learn from each other.
they help each other. I mean,
Yeah.
and they help each other on, with like, if they got the same kind of case management software and somebody's figured out something, they'll share it with them. We even have some of them go to each other's offices or send their people to each other's offices and say, I mean, I just had one today. One of my masterminds, he says, I just got this new Litify system in, and I really need, if you know about anybody, Ken, that's got Litify and that's really got their stuff together. I said, I think I do. And I text one of my lawyers, my masterminds, that's been in it for about 8 years, very successful lawyer out of Miami. He said, sure, I'll help him. He said, just give him my cell number. And this lawyer could just, they're very helpful. The people that stay in it are very helpful. They're trying to help each other because they were there. They were, it's like I had one guy.
And you become friends. I mean, you become like some of the best friends. I mean, like my best friends are from my mastermind,
Well, I'll tell you how good of friends they are to me too. I'm on my second marriage now, and 5 years ago. And I got married in Anguilla in between two mastermind meetings.
I think I remember seeing that on social media.
Yeah, and I invited all the mastermind. I said, you can stay later, or you come early if you want to be at my wedding. I adapted, and just a couple of real close family members was it, man. And but that is kind of like my family the way I looked at it. I mean, I got my immediate family, but that's really like me and my wife were talking about it. Locally, we just don't have that many friends. Our friends are really everybody in PILMMA. It's kind of sad in a way, but then in a way, it's not, because you are who you hang around with, and I like to hang around with the people that are smart and hungry and want to do things,
And I can tell you that everybody that your event is one of the funnest events that they could go to. You have a lot of fun. I mean, and you make sure that people are having fun.
Yeah.
I remember, you do your karaoke night. I remember that. That's fun time.
We still do that. The second night. We do the karaoke night. We have a mastermind reception. I set up and for my VIP and my mastermind members, I actually set up a lounge. It opens up at 1 o'clock. It serves alcohol and regular drinks and snacks. They can go in and out all the time, all afternoon. I want them to feel special, because they are special to me.
Yeah.
You
do a great job.
And we like having a good time, but they're there to learn too. So, the one thing I like about our conferences, I spoke at one, and the second day in Athens, it was 2 days. I spoke at like 2 o'clock, and the room was like 2/3 empty. I don't see that a lot at PILMMA. I mean, maybe the last day, the last couple hours, but most of the people actually come there. They really stay to the end. As long as I keep it out of Vegas.
Right. I know, Vegas. Yes, exactly.
But
I've done Rem. I don't know if you know Rem Jackson. Rem. He has his top practices for podiatrists and hosts an event. He lives in Vegas, so he moved out there. So he has.
I'd go broke out there.
I know, man. I don't know how he does it.
Too much temptation and gambling.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I got a couple more questions here for you.
Okay.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about PILMMA and the mastermind, but how does it all work? Like, just break it down for me. You've got the membership, right?
Got a regular membership where we have a listserv where you can talk and ask people, everybody in there, general membership. And that, I will tell you the 2 favorite things we do. We do a lot more, but I do a survey every year. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? and the listserv, because somebody could be having a problem and they'll throw it out there and you'll get five or six, 7, 8 lawyers rhyming in or say, has anybody got a form for this? You get it. Anybody, I just had one today, you know, what do you think about this vendor? And some guy said, run. I mean, you know,
Right.
You know, or don't. You say, what do you think about you? They said, don't, you know. They say, hit me up privately if you want me to give you the whole spiel, but they didn't want to, you know, do it out in front of everybody. But they also refer each other cases all the time. So, and not everyone gets one, but you figure if you get one referral a year, it pays for it, you know, pays for your membership. Then the second thing is our magazine. We put out and I got to say, it's a lot better now than it was 3 or 4 years ago. My wife took it over, and she's smarter than I am. She went to Wake Forest. She was the law review. She was moot court team, and she's a hell of a writer and an editor. And she's took it over, and it pops with really good stuff. We got some really good graphic artists, and she makes me write at least 1 or 2 articles every time. She said, I need an article on this. I need what's hot. What's hot. You know, that's the other thing. I kind of keep the pulse on the industry by being in these masterminds, because every 3 or 4 months I get to hear what's the problem or what's hot or what's the big, and that helps me provide content to the general masses, you know, of because I know what's hot at that time. You know, like right now, like the 3 main things is I can't find anybody, you know, that wants to come in and work without paying them what I pay a lawyer. You know, I got to pay $75,000-$80,000 for a paralegal, where I used to get a lawyer for $50,000, and then half of them want to stay at home. You know, they don't want to come into the office. And then the other deal is, okay, I've give up on that, so now I've gone offshore, but I really don't know how to manage these people offshore. You know, and I don't know how to pick the right one. And then the other thing that's been going on real hot, and you probably know more about this than I do, but this local service ads, there's been some changes, and some of my guys that were killing it are now, it's like they did an algorithm change on Google, you know, where you can be knocking it out in the park, and then all of a sudden they make a change and you just fall to the bottom. Then I got some people that haven't been doing as good, and they're starting to get more calls. So that was like the lab we just got through, and that was like, I would say that was the 4 top things that were really,
that's really interesting.
Mind, you know.
Yeah, and I get it, because you know, we talk to the same circle of people, and that's exactly what we hear. And if you can crack the code on how to talk and manage a millennial, you won't have to worry about a thing the rest of your life. Millennials, Gen X, Z, whatever.
Yeah, they like. You gotta. You know, I actually did a presentation on that. I did a lot of research on that, and what I've come to the conclusion is that which law firms should be the place for them to go. They want to be part of something bigger, but they also want to they got to have a lot more feedback than the regular.
They do. They need a lot of feedback. They need a lot of love and a lot of attention. And you're right.
A lot of feedback, and they want to be part. They want to help solve the problems. But I think if you get one that's an A player, I think they're great. I mean, but if you get a B or C, they're real tougher than just a regular B and C.
If they're,
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean,
if they're interdirected, right? Using Jay Henderson's words.
Oh yeah, I don't hire anybody. I haven't hired anybody.
Neither do I. Yep.
Without taking his test, I hadn't hired anybody in 14 years. And,
right.
I had one interdirected one time, and people don't know what interdirected is. They're really brilliant people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're smart. They're very smart, very brilliant, but they think their answer is the only answer, and they'll sit there and give you lip service. They're going to do it their way because they think everybody else is stupid. They're the only one that knows anything in the room. I mean, that's true.
As they agree with you. If you guys are in alignment, everything's wonderful. But the moment and they will do it their way to their own detriment.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I took one. I was going to try to change him.
Right, I've done that too, of course.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's like marrying some woman that you're going to you're going to change her from gambling and drinking, or a guy, you know, either way.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't going to change them until they want to change. And most people are interdirected, pretty good egos.
Yep.
You know? But yeah, I stay away from those people. When I see that, I don't even go any further on the test.
Me neither. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me some of the benefits of the
Oh
member.
yeah, we was talking about that. And
Yeah.
I ramble a lot. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
So we got the magazine. We do intake training every month. We have a roundtable on marketing every month, and a roundtable where we talk about a subject. A lot of the marketing directors, some of the lawyers go to it. Then we have a management roundtable. Some of the lawyers, and we'll have one theme, but you can ask anything. And then I have a Q&A every month.
Is this in person, Ken?
Excuse me?
Is this in person, or are you doing this over?
All Zoom.
Okay.
Nothing in person. This is all Zoom and all digital. We also have we got the magazine, we got all the webinars, we got all my video trainings, a bunch of forms and templates in the we call it the members resources. So that's gold. And then you add on that Mastermind, you get all that, plus you get 3 in-person meetings for 2 days, plus you get the higher in-depth, deeper 2 or 3 hour training 8 months a year on some management deal. That like I was saying before, like maybe how to increase your average fee, the whole theory of how to do a self financial audit, see if you're healthy. Intake, get into the nitty gritty, not just the regular stuff, but how can you get it to where you're signed up 90 to 95% of cases you want, which every lawyer thinks he does, and they don't once you actually pull down and do the numbers, and they get very surprised. I had one that swore to me, he signed up every case he wanted. When we ran the numbers, it was 68%. I said, well, you're not too far off. You're only 32% off of what you thought you were doing. So whatever you're doing, if you're doing 3 million, you could be doing 4 million.
Yeah.
Getting
them to admit to it, right? That they're, you might be fine.
But it's like, I tell people, intake to me is like playing golf. You never master it. You get close, you'll have a great week, a great month, or 2 great months, but you can never rest on your laurels. You can never, put your guard down, because you got to stay on top of it all the time, because that's really where, in my opinion, more money has been lost in law firms, especially PIs, on intake than any other thing that they do. They ain't spending too much money on marketing. It's the intake. And
that's right. We have clients that spend thousands and thousands on marketing a month, and the phone doesn't get answered.
Yeah. And then they blame. That's another reason that time I don't do done for you, because I've seen what happens. They always got to blame somebody. It's never them. They always blame the vendor.
Yeah.
And I had one vendor. He said, "I'm telling you, I'm getting them leads. They just start converting them." I said, "I give them a company." I said, "Hire this company to do about 5 or 10 ghost calls," and then I said, "Send them to them and let them hear how bad their people are." And they were terrible. I mean, I listened to one of them. Woman had a cut over eyes, 8 stitches, and a broken bone. And the woman says, "Well, everybody's out to lunch." She says, "Can you call back in about an hour?"
Yeah, that happens. I know.
That's what that happened on that deal. She called the next lawyer.
Right. And that's the thing, is that
the case.
Competition is fierce. Competition is fierce, and you're like what you were just saying a moment ago, that you have to stay hot and stay in the game, because and you're right, intake is the most important thing that you can do, and focus on getting that down before you start spending a bunch of money on pay-per-click and marketing to get leads in, if you don't know how to close the leads.
Yeah, you're gonna believe this time, but I had this lawyer from Baltimore, and he called me up. He said, "I settled this big case, Ken." He said, "I finally got enough money that I can really spend some money on marketing." He said, "I got about $2 million. I want you to come up here and spend a couple of days with me and tell me how to spend this money." And I went up there and spent 2 days with him, but I looked at it as it. I said, "Man, you don't need to spend a dime till you get your office in order." I said, I said, "Your phone system's terrible." I said, you don't even have a case management system. I said, "You got no process and procedure." I said, "The worst thing you can do," and I know it from experience because I did it. I went on TV in 1997, And I was signing up 20 cases before then. Within 90 days, I was signing up 120 cases. Now, you can't do that now, okay? But that was a sweet time. Nobody, it's a lot different now. But
Right.
what I'm saying is I had to cut off TV. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I had to go out and hire a couple of management people that were really good on systems and processes, and take about 90 days to get my stuff together, because you know what I was getting? I was getting complaints. Thank God I didn't get a
That's what
barber.
happens.
But we had really good commercials evidently, because we were burning it up. I mean, I had 4 guys on the road signing up cases every day. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it really was crazy.
But that lesson is a beautiful lesson that still exists today. I mean, you can find different marketing, hits out of the park. Like you got your TV commercials. That was great. When websites first came out and lawyers first jumped on websites.
Oh, yeah, they killed it.
Right. When they first started doing pay-per-click, and they were spending not very much money, but they were getting the cases. The same thing with the LSAs.
Yep.
Is the guys that jumped on that first, they got the lion's share of it. Then Google spreads it out, messes it up, and everybody's confused on how it's done. But the point is that you got to get your house in order before you can start marketing, And
I agree. And it's not sexy, and it's not, everybody just wants to skip that part, because all they can see is the cases and the settlements and the money. But all I can see, if you don't get it in order, is chaos, people leaving you, and bar complaints.
That's why it's so great that you do both marketing and management.
Yeah.
You teach and talk and train and provide resources for both. Because you can advise people.
Yeah.
Don't do any of this marketing until you got your systems.
Yeah, and I wouldn't tell that lawyer how to spin it to me. I said, because you're gonna be mad with me. I said, you're gonna be upset. I said, I'll help you get your house in order, and then I'll tell you how to do it. I said, but I'm not gonna tell you. You can get somebody else to tell you, but I'm not gonna be part of this fiasco. I said, because you'll hate me the rest of your life.
I've got another question for you, which is kind of the opposite question, which is, do you have anyone, and you don't need to name them, but anyone that you're most proud of? Like, this is your biggest success, mentoring or student or whatever.
I don't have one. I got 3 or 4 that I'm really proud of. I put them in my book. I wrote this book, The Mastermind Effect. And because there's so many people running masterminds that really want masterminds. And I wanted to get set the record straight. But I got, probably my oldest one is Jan Deals, who, and this is what's so funny about it. She was very successful when she came to me. And she says, Ken, I'm making good money, but I'm working 8 hours a week. I got no life. She says, I'm making profits. I mean, I'm making nice profits. She says, but I need to clone me, and I can't clone me. I said, yeah, we can. And she had her and another lawyer and about 10 or 12 staff. And this is about 10 or 12 years. Now she's got about 160 employees, 15 lawyers. And she works, probably 10, 20 hours a week when she works, and the rest of the time she's in Hilton Head. She's in West Virginia.
Wow.
So, yeah, she's a success story. But listen, it's like I told her when I met her, I said, you'll figure this out. I'll just get you there quicker. I said, because you're smart and you got the grit. I said, I ain't going to tell you that I can give you something that you won't figure out. I said, I'll just make it happen a lot quicker for you.
You have the blueprint. You've already got the blueprint, and you've done this blueprint on a variety of different firm sizes and types.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, I mean,
from all over the world.
Yeah. And she's really right now my go-to. I mean, she's probably out of all my mastermind people, she's probably got her processes, systems, and management together better than anybody in the whole universe of my stuff. Matt Dubin's been what a story. When he joined, we had to talk. One of my people, not me, because I don't really try to pressure people. One of my staff really was pushing him to join. He said, it's only me and 2 staff, and I'm not big enough to be in a mastermind. And now we were having lunch. I said, well, Matt, I said, how do you help? where the hell do you think these other people started at? Y'all start somewhere. And he joined, and now he was doing like maybe $300,000 or $400,000 a year. Now he's doing over 10 million.
Wow.
And he's got a big office, and he got 3 or 4 offices. He's like the #2 spender in Seattle. I mean, he's doing TV, he's doing billboards, he's doing everything. And that's just 2 of them. I mean, I got other stories of people making a lot more. Like I've talked to one the other day. He joined about 7 years ago. He had 5 lawyers. Now he's got 45. So I know he's all over the state of Texas. So Greg Herman, the guy down here who reminds me of myself when I was practicing law is Justin Lovely, because he tries new things, and he's really grown really fast. But he tries new things, and he's always on the cutting edge. I love to listen to him at Masterminds, because I know I'm gonna learn something. Because he's very techie too, so he's always figuring out some new way to do something. He's all in AI right now. He's all over it. He spoke at a summit last year, and everybody loved him. And I got him coming back this year to speak at the summit, because they just love, because he actually just goes in there. This is how I'm using this. This is how I'm using this. But yeah, I mean, people like that. I mean, had a guy that was up in Pennsylvania. I mean, he was doing like 1.5 million 3 years ago, and he's doing 4.5 now. So he's tripled his practice in 3 years. I think that's good stuff. I mean, that's good stuff. And listen, I'm not taking all the credit for it. I think the mastermind itself and their grit. It takes somebody that's got grit, willing to do what it takes to get it done. But I think getting in there with all those other lawyers and picking their brains and finding out what's not working and what's working is just really accelerates your growth so fast. I mean, and it keeps you from not just knowing what to do, but knowing what not to do can save you a lot of money. Because I listen, I probably wasted those first 10 years when I started on TV. I doing other stuff, probably would have wasted at least 700, 800,000 trying stuff that did not work. But the stuff that I did try that did work, man, I burned it up. I mean, I was the first guy around here to do the books, and my law, when I sold out to my partner, then he's still putting out books in doctors' offices. He's got a full-time guy. That's all he does. And, and he gets cases out of it. I mean, I know when what we were doing, I don't know what he does now, but every 25 books I put out in a doctor's office, I got a case.
Yeah.
And the books cost about $2 a piece.
That's
and then maybe I got, with the labor and everything, maybe I got $30 a book, but still, that's $750.
This is what you bring to the table, is you bring the organization and the clout of your mastermind, which has your own personal experience, years of experience doing masterminds, with all of the wealth of knowledge of all the lawyers that have been there before new people get in. And, that's what I know lawyers are looking for. They're looking for honest advice from, people that have been through the minefield before, that they can trust. They're always looking out and asking their peers about you, just like they do on your listserv.
Yeah, and it's like, I had some people, I surprised some people. I had one lawyer that he really wanted to join the mastermind. I said, listen, you need to take that money and go put it on your website, because I looked at his website. It was terrible. I said, you need to go hire somebody. I said, you don't need me right now. I said, if you want to join the gold and get into all our stuff, I said, but I don't want to take this money from you. I said, you need to do that. And then I said, I do a Q&A every month, so you can get on that and ask me anything you want to. Take that money and go use it to do some art and get your stuff in order. I said, about a year or two, then you come back and join. And he said, well, I'm surprised. I said, I thought you'd be glad that I said, I want to do what's right. I said, I want to help you. I said, but helping you is telling you what I just told you to do. It really blew his mind. He said, and about 2 years later, he joined Mastermind, and he was ready then. And he always remembered that. He said, you could have took my money. I said, yeah. I said, that's not what I'm in it for. I said, I like money. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike money, because money gives me freedom. But money is not my number one reason I do this. Number one reason, it gives me a purpose to get up in the morning. because I was bored shitless. I'm not gonna lie about it. When I was retired, after about 6 months, and I keep learning stuff. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, I just enjoy it. I mean, the stuff that I don't have to work with people I don't want to. I've reached a stage in my life. If I don't,
Are you not practicing law anymore at all?
not practicing any law. I do have. I invest a lot in mass torts, and I do this. And I started a thing called the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers, and we're helping lawyers figure out how to get motorcycle cases with grassroots marketing and working these clubs and working these motorcycle dealerships and things like that. And, yeah, it's
what is that called? Shoe heel marketing? That's something.
Yeah, bootstrap. Yeah. So that's like my two loves. I mean, I got some other stuff I do, but that, and I put together a group of lawyers. We get together, I do a new group every year. We form a law firm and we go out and invest. It's like an investment club, and we vote on it. We vote on it and say, okay, because that way it lets you spread your risk. Because the problem is, a lot of our members, they don't want to put $1 million. To really get spread out, you need $1 million. Or don't you? If you just pick something, spend 100, 200 on it, it goes south, you've lost all your money. Because it's like playing the stock market. You're gonna have some winners and you're gonna have some losers. And hopefully, if you can get 80% winners, you're good. So this way, when you pull all your money, you got better buying power. You get better deals with the lawyers that are handling the cases. Instead of paying you a third, they pay you 50%. You get better deals with the lead companies and with the companies that are getting you the leads. And it just works out better. I mean, in that way, you're pulling your money, you're spreading your risk out, and you're getting better deals and we got, more than one mind. Because I've gone in some of these meetings. In fact, we got a meeting next week. I've gone in some of these meetings where I say, well, I think we want to buy this. By the time I get through the meeting, them guys talk me out of it. And I'm thinking, I agree with you, because they've talked to somebody, or we bring somebody in to talk to us about this, somebody that's in the, we listed different vendors that are saying this and that, the criteria, and whether or not it's gone this far. And so we sit there and listen, and we make a decision. But it's fun because, they changed my mind. Last time we had a meeting, I wanted to go more Cat Lejeune, and we ended up buying Tout.
Well, that's another benefit to being in your mastermind, is that?
Yeah.
I don't know other masterminds that do that.
Yeah. So we put together a new law firm. I have to create a new law firm every year. So I guess I do have a law firm, but I don't really practice. I mean,
right. Yeah.
We just co-counsel with other lawyers, and it's.
So Ken, what kind of lawyers are you looking for? I understand personal injury.
Yeah.
Is there a certain perfect lawyer?
Yeah, we kind of figured out that our best for our masterminds is somebody doing between 1 and 5 million that wants to get to 10, 20, 30 million. What I found is the guys that are already doing over 10 million, 90% of them, they think they already know it all, and they're not going to be interested in what I got to say or any of my other members. Just being honest. And maybe they might be right. They might be right. But I think you can always learn something else. But what I find is that they come up from 1 to 2, 5, 10, 15. I got a guy doing 80 million right now. Did $80 million this year. And when he joined and he left me and went with this another group that was a lot more expensive, because he had the money, but he just wanted to make sure he wasn't missing out on something. He come back 2 years later and he said, I should have never left. He said, you're the real deal, Ken. And I'm not bragging about myself, but what it made me feel good, he said, you really do try to help. He said, I could tell you're not in it just for the money. He said, I know you like money, but this last company I went with, they were just all about the money. He said that you could tell it. And that made me feel good.
Most are, Ken.
That made me, that's what I'm trying to project. And so, I'm trying to get people to see that, but I'll never say I don't like money, though. I'll never say that.
Well, I mean, I think that you say it all, you guarantee it, if they don't like it after the first month or 90 days, and, c'est la vie.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. I said, listen, I'm not a great salesperson. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't think I am, but that's my little shtick is, listen, you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I said, who else is going to do this for you? I said, I don't know what else I can say.
Yeah.
I said, if somebody give you an opportunity, says, try this out. If you don't like it, 90 days or first meeting, you can get all your money back.
You could still get blind, right? I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, you know, and I'll be honest with you.
So giving.
I've never had, well, actually, I did have one mastermind member ask for the money back after a year because I wouldn't give them a discount. And I just said, I can't do that.
Lawyers are fun.
Yeah, and so I said, okay. And of course, he's banned now. I blackball him. I'll never deal with him again. But other than that, I've never had nobody do that. I've never had anybody ask for the money back. For the summit, I have had some people ask for the money back on the 90-day deal on the gold, and I asked them why, and they said I just ain't got around to looking at it. You know, I just don't have the time to do it. And of course, I'm not going to argue with them, but this might be a good way to end this thing. I really believe this, Tom. I see all these lawyers, and I see ones that are knocking the dust off of it, and I see those that are struggling. And I think to myself, what is the difference? Well, it's focus and grit. What I'm saying is they don't get sidelined. They don't give up. They got determination, and they make time. What I'm saying is I hear lawyers say, I just don't have time. We all have time. We just make time for what's important. It's just not as important. You got
to prioritize.
If you can just admit that it's not that important, because if it's something really important, you're going to make time for it. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, you know, I could say this. I got where I catch myself now. I never say I don't have time. I say I choose not to make time because we all make time. We all make time for what's important. It's just, you know, right. And when somebody, you know, the same amount of hours, same amount of minutes, and you see people that are killing it, you see people that are struggling. But the people that are killing it are very focused, and they're very determined, perseverance, grit, whatever you want to call it. They don't give up. They keep pushing forward, and they don't get sidetracked. You know, they push things up. They get shit done, and they make time to get things done. They make appointments with themselves. I really think that's the difference. I've thought about it, and I know there's a lot of books on it. And I was listening. Brunson's come out with you know, he's got into all this Napoleon Hill stuff, and he's got this new thing, Secrets of Success, and I bought it because I just wanted to see what it was about. And I was watching Napoleon Hill talk about what it takes to be the secrets of success, but it really is willing your way and not giving up and staying focused. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's probably other things, but if you really, I think those 2 or 3 things are really the key. I really do. It ain't the guy with the most money. It ain't the smartest guy. Because I've never been accused of being the smartest guy in the room. But I would never give up. You know, well, my football coach told me this, and I didn't know whether to take it as a compliment or underhanded. He said I made like all East State or something. When he was given the award or whatever, he said Ken Hardison does the most with the least talent of any football player I've ever coached. And I said, and I thought about that, you know, I don't know whether to be mad or happy, you know, but he was telling the truth. I mean, I wasn't the fastest guy. I wasn't the biggest guy, but my God, I didn't never give, I never quit. I mean,
tenacious.
I was a bulldog. I played linebacker, and a wild man. I mean, you know, and I think that's the way I have
still like that. You know, maybe a little nicer, but you know, you got bored after you retired. You were like, I got to help people. That's that entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah.
And you know, lawyers they don't even know they're entrepreneurs. They kind of like, they go to law school, I'm going to be a lawyer. They don't think about that they got to run a business. And that's a whole different ball game than, you know, getting your law degree and practicing law. It's like a different part of your brain. And then marketing is a completely different part of your brain. And you might be a fantastic lawyer and win all the cases, but a terrible managing, you know, lawyer, right? I'm sure you encountered that.
Yeah, I've had some lawyers where I said, listen, they said, I just want to practice all. So then you need to find you a good manager, we can find you a good marketer, and let them run it, you know, and you just give the okay for the signing of the checks, and, you know, and you go do your thing, and they'll get you.
lawyers that are better marketers than lawyers, and they just hire really good lawyers.
Yeah, I would never say myself. I thought I was a great negotiator, but I thought, for a trial lawyer, I thought I was a B plus, maybe on some days a A minus, but I never thought I was an A or A plus trial lawyer. I was okay. I tried a lot of cases. I wasn't scared to try cases, but I felt like there was a lot of lawyers that are better than me, and so I tried to hire some of those, and I tried to hire some really good trial lawyers, because you know, John Morgan told me this, and I went down there and shadowed him in 1995, 96 for like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, I mean, you know, I knew what I wanted to do, and he was back when he only had 25 lawyers, but I knew he was I could see he had what it took, I wanted, and of course he's proven I was right.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because he's the biggest in the country now, probably the world. But he told me, he says, if your mother got her leg cut off in a car wreck, would you hire your law firm? I said, I don't mind. He said, if you can't answer that yes, then you're not referable, and you need to get somebody in there to make you referable. I'll never forget that. I mean, everything I learned from him those 3 or 4 days, that's the thing that stuck out to me. So the first thing I did was I went out trying to find a really good hotshot trial lawyer that could go try cases and ring some bells. You know, because
that's what I did too. I mean, that's no different than me. I used to do all of it myself, coding, designing, the rest of it, and I was like, I'm not good at that particular thing. I was like, okay, but yeah.
And I'm not good. I know how to teach management, Tom, but that's not what my strength is. Because I want everybody to like me. It's hard to be a good manager. You can't. Everybody you want them to respect you. You don't want them to love you. But I think my two deals is marketing. I got a good marketing mind, and I'm an ideal guy. And I can see the big picture. I'm not good at
visionary.
I'm not good in the weeds. I'm not good at detail, and I'm not good at management. I can teach it all. I can tell you what to do, but I can do it, but I hate it. And stuff that you hate, you're just not going to do as good. Stuff you love.
Hey, I want to compliment you on something else. Your Twitter profile, whoever's doing your Twitter, okay? Man, that thing pops up on my watch. Ken Hardison does this. Here's somebody else talking about how awesome Ken Hardison is. Here's something else.
Well, thank you. I'll tell them, because you know, I've never been on Twitter.
Well, your team, that's what I wanted to tell you, man.
Yeah, I've never been on Twitter.
A lot of times I send it on to my team and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Oops, we'll have to edit that out. That we're not. I said, get on it.
We just had a big marketing meeting today too, Tom, and we're going to we're beefing it up some more next year. But and I'll be honest with you, personally, I wish they never created social media.
Right.
For me personally, because it just took a lot more work.
Yep.
You know, it's like, but it's a necessary evil that you got to do.
And you got to know how to talk there. It's a different style on each one, and it's very complicated.
Yeah,
that's why I was telling you that whoever you got doing your Twitter feed,
it's in house. It's in house. I got a real big company. I got 8 people working for me, and that's double to what it used to be. I hired, be honest with you, in the last 12 months, I've hired 4 offshore Pakistanis.
Wow. For
$700 a month each, and I've got a graphic artist, 2 web guys, and a video editor. And it took a while for them to get kind of learn what our message is and our brand and all that, but they're starting to click now.
Yeah, that's great. And good job.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know, but yeah, I'm like I told you to start with, this help a lot of people, but this ain't about. I mean, I got a good team, man. It's not me. I mean, I'm just blessed.
And your next
try to let them know it every day too. I think that helps.
You let them know every day. That's good.
Try to.
Well, you're a good leader.
You know, because Vern Hardison told me something. I think he's real smart too, guy. He said, no business was ever built on the back of average employees. And
That's true.
you know, and then you got to keep your A players. You got to let them know that you really care and that you're invested in their future, their professional growth. It ain't all about money. You've got to let them know that you really. Well, as I tell people, they don't care till they know how much you care.
Right.
But,
It's
you know,
really about love, and it's really about caring about them. You're right. I got about 40 people.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, that do all kinds of different things, and we're completely virtual, spread across the country.
We are
world.
too, man. We are too.
And but I've had people with me for 15, 20 years since I started this thing, and we're a family, and people come here and they don't leave because it's such a great place to work.
That's great. Well, that says a lot about you, then.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
I think, because it's hard. I mean, and I had to learn that too, because I had a really good mentor back when I was running my law firm, but because I had this mindset, paying you a good wage, just do your job, and it was hard for me to give compliments because I didn't need the affirmation, so I didn't think nobody else does. And then they said, "Well, do you not like it?" I said, "No, I like it, but I don't need it." Well, most people need it, kid. So they made me 2 stamps. It said "Great job," and another one, keep at it. And I'd punch it up when the paralegals would bring me to work. I'd stamp it, with a little smiley face, because that was my office manager did that. She was good. She was good.
That's smart.
Actually, she said, "You've got to tell these people they got to know you care." I said, "I do care, but you don't tell them enough." So that was how she got me started.
Now you know.
That's how she got me started.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of smarter people than me help me out over the years and train me. So I'm very indebted. In fact, I went and spent a day with her. She's got stage 4 cancer, and I drove up to Raleigh and spent all day with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's almost 80 now. But I told her, I said, I probably not told you enough, but I really appreciate it. I don't think I could have done it without you. I could have got the cases in, but I couldn't have got the infrastructure set up. I just didn't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
And she knew how to do it. So, and I actually had her on my podcast. I said, "Are you up to doing a podcast?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I want to give you a tribute and let people know how I really did it, that you were my secret weapon." And I did. We had a good time. It was fun. And I think she felt good about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
How long was she with you?
Not that long, really, about 6, 7 years. I had another girl that was with me from 82 to 2010.
Wow.
However long that is. And she retired when I sold the firm. And I bought her a Cadillac and give her a $100,000 bonus. Wow. Yeah. Well, she had been with me when things were really tough, and she stuck with me, and she did everything. She was my first. I hired her part-time in 82, worked 20 hours a week. And then she went to 40, and then she went to then she went to bookkeeper, paralegal. She did it all. She did everything inside and out. And she was always loyal. And I don't know, I like loyalty,
Well, yeah, exactly. And you treat them, and that's why they're loyal to you. And that's what you got right now. And not only do you have, your employees, but you've got this group of very smart lawyers and their staff that are part of your organization that you built. It's your vision that has grown this thing, and it's a great thing. Speaking of, you've got one coming up in May. And
May the 6th, I think it's May the 14th through the 16th.
It says all the vendor tables are sold out.
Not yet.
It says on the website, sold out.
They're not sold out.
Okay. Put me on the list.
Okay, I will. I will. They're not sold out. Yeah, it's we're right now we're spelling sponsorships, and we're going to open it up in about first week in January for just regular booze. We've
Okay,
sold
that's good.
we've
So
sold
now
about
you just got the scarcity and FOMO going on.
yeah. I didn't know we had that. I have to, thank you. See, that's what I'm saying, man. It's you don't know what you don't know. So yeah, we are, but we just they just started putting the website up. So
It's looking good.
it is. It
Got
is.
the intro from. I was like, this is really well done.
Yeah. There was those guys from Pakistan.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's a good
Yeah.
job. All right, brother. So how does one lawyer that hears this and is like, wow, this guy, I got to get involved with him. How does somebody do that? How would you like them to get in touch with you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can just info@pilmma.org, PILMMA.org, and it's info, INFO. I think it's 1-800-497. I don't even know our number. I think it's 1860, but I can't remember. But anyway, it's PILMMA.org. I mean, we got
PILMMA.org. That's where you get started.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I sent Ken an email to his email right there, and he responded right away.
Yeah.
So it responds to his own email.
Yeah. You can, you can hit me, Ken@PILMMA.org. Don't do Ken Hardison. Ken Hardison's what they got going to my staff, to my office man. I mean, my COO, and
well, I think that's the one I use. So your staff connected.
She sent it real fast then.
Yeah, that was great. So
yeah, because that's the one everybody's. But if they go on the website, that's what they get, because they're trying to protect. Because
sure,
I get inundated with about 200 emails a day.
Yep.
I
got the same deal. It's Tom Foster for the world, and then Tom at Fosterway Marketing for just. But I still get a million emails. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Time vampires, you got to watch them.
That's right. Well, Ken, it has been an honor talking to you, brother. Thank you for your time and for jumping on this podcast with me. I look forward to seeing you in May. If I don't talk to you before then, and just congratulations on your success. You've done a wonderful service for the attorney community at large.
Well, thank you. You're way too kind, and I appreciate it. And kudos to you, man. 40 people.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot of people.
25 years I've been doing this.
Yeah, I know. I told them, I said,
we got started around the same time, I think, right?
Yeah. I started 2009, and then I went to Ben Glass's a bit in like 2006, 2007, when he had it up at Arlington or somewhere in Virginia.
Yeah, I was there.
There was about 60 people there.
Yep, that's how we got started.
Now he fills up a room too. We both do. I think we both are honest and straightforward, and that's why I like him. He's a straight shooter.
Yep.
I mean, I think the difference in me and him, and I just really focus on PI. I tried to go wide, but that's what I know inside and out. I know I did workers' comp, Social Security, PI, and that's what I know. That was my last 20 years of practicing law. That was my life inside and out. So
I think that's smart. It allows you to focus.
Yeah.
And because that's kind of because all the PI is much different, and they have much different problems and requirements than estate planning lawyers. And those guys are much different than the criminal lawyers. And it's nuts. So it's good that you're sticking in your lane.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a wonderful holiday. I'll let you know when this thing goes up. It's not going to be long because I want to get it out quick and start marketing this thing and marketing your event. And whatever I can do to help you, please let me know.
I appreciate it, Tom. Same here. I'll get with Sherry. I'll get her to send you something about the deal, because I know I actually asked her about it this morning at our marketing meeting, and she said, this is what she had planned. She's kind of like my I call her my little Mussolini. She keeps the trains running on time.
That's great. That's great. Well, we would very much like to participate in PILMMA and whatever we can do there.
Okay.
Our best clients are our PI clients, and I know many of them are listening to this, and maybe they'll join your group.
I appreciate it.
Okay, buddy.
Take care. Have a good one.
Okay.